everyone, it's Janie here, and I'm really excited to be introducing you to Emma Ball at the bottom there, famous for all her wonderful knickknacks and quirky bits and bobs for home interiors and crafters. And I don't know, Emma, what are you? You do all sorts of things, don't you?
Yeah.
And then, sorry, Emma, cut you off. And then I've got Emma Corbett with me as well, who's Emma's going to head up some of the questions in this interview. And we're here because we've got a really exciting collaboration to tell you about. And I'm going to pass over to Emma Corbett. Now, shall I say Emma C and Emma B?
Yeah.
As we've got two Emmas here. And sorry, Emma B, I cut you off a little bit there, but I'm going to pass this over to Emma C, who's going to ask us all some questions about what we're revealing, our exciting collaboration.
Okay, let's do it. Hi, Emma. Hi, Jane.
Hi.
So for Janie Crow followers who don't know who you are, Emma, or maybe who do know but haven't actually seen your face before, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what it is you do, and that will give everybody a clue as to what we're revealing today.
Okay, so I'm a designer. I'm an illustrator, graphic designer. I've had my business now for, I think it's 22 years, coming up this next year, 2023. We basically design giftware and greetings cards. And we've gone into a lot of crafting products as well, since lockdown really. So we do tins, we do mugs, there's greetings cards, lots of stationery. I love stationery. And we sell into a lot of shops. We have our website. And it's just really good fun. Our ethos is really designing with a smile. So we like products or giftware that just makes you smile when you use it.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, I'm going to actually just be a complete fangirl and show you some of the things I've already got, because I suspect people will probably recognise some of these bits and bobs. So I've got knitting puffins here, and I adore these because I like squared paper. I don't know if you can see, that's where I tick off all my repeats of my work. This is one of your project books, which is amazing because it's got, you can put your gauge and all that sort of thing on there. Love that. There's so much down here. The sheep, see, people must recognise these fabulous woolly pulleys.
Oh, yeah, my sheep in sweaters.
Sheep in sweaters. I've got my Highland cow tin in here, which has got my cables in it. So these are all things that are being used. So again, if people will probably go, oh yes, I recognise this. This is fantastic. Far too nice to write in, but this is the project folder, which has got all the bits and bobs about my unfinished projects in. It's amazing. So again, I wonder whether people may recognise some of your existing work there. So you're going to be collaborating with Jane, and we're going to see some of these wonderful products with Jane's designs on then?
We are indeed.
Amazing. So all of the artwork on the bits I've just shown is your own artwork, which is incredible.
Yeah, the Highland cow tin is another collaboration I have with another textile artist. So that's Abigail Mill, that is. So we work with I think it's 6 or 7 other artists, as well as my own artwork.
Yeah, wonderful. So so obviously there's a lot of influence from textiles, like you say, knitting and crochet and whatnot. Where are you getting your influences from? Where in the world or everywhere?
Yeah, I started knitting 10 years ago. And that's how my knitting started. I got quite stressed out about a certain situation, and I went and bought 3 balls of yarn, got home, started knitting, and that was it really. I was kind of hooked on yarn, and we go to Shetland, me and my friend, at least once a year, and that's a huge inspiration. I just love the colours up there, the muted colours, and then you get splashes of bright colour. And then earlier this year I started to crochet. I just couldn't get my head around a crochet hook, and it was just something really mystical to me, how you could create something so amazing from a hook and a piece of yarn. And I'd been on several courses and I couldn't get my head around it. So I sat down one night and thought, why can't I do this? So I downloaded a pattern, and that was, I think it was Good Friday, and I got home from the football that evening and I started hooking away, and that was it. The blanket was finished about a month later.
Wow.
Using up all my Jamieson's double knit stash, and it's one of the warmest things I own, actually.
Yeah, fabulous. So Jane, this is probably a really good time to come into you then. So obviously Emma is perhaps a little bit newer to crochet than she is to knitting. So who drove the collaboration on this? Was it yourself or was it Emma?
It was a bit of a funny one, because I've known Emma for a long time, and we were messaging about, I knew she'd started. I have to say, the fruit garden blanket behind her is what she has made. It's not one of mine, it's one of Emma's. So amazing that she went from, you know, learning and so quickly was delving into the fruit. I'm very proud of her.
Oh, yes, amazing.
So it was one of those, you know, when you get those lovely moments where one little thing kicks off a whole another thing. And I was sitting on the settee one evening, and I've just seen a woodpecker on my tree outside. I'm so sorry. There's a woodpecker right outside the window. My goodness. Anyway, so I was sitting thinking about project bags, because I love project bags. I've got a huge collection of them, and I love having different projects that I can pick up, and they're all in their bag with their hook ready. So we'd had some Janie Crow project bags made previously, and they were handmade. They're beautiful, absolutely lovely, but I just couldn't consistently keep them in stock, enough of them in stock. So I happened to be sitting there one night, and I thought, I know, I'll text Emma and see if she knows anybody who would like to make them or would put me in touch with them. I mean, I didn't ever imagine that what has happened would happen. So Emma said, let me have a think about that. And then the next morning she sent me back this amazing text saying, oh, I think we can do something together. And that's where it started.
That is fabulous. So that sort of a need kicked off this lovely artistic kind of collaboration.
Yeah.
So Jane, what crochet projects are we focusing on? Because you've obviously got a huge back catalogue of work.
Yeah.
Which one can you see in this design collaboration?
So the first thing I did was I went up to Emma's studio in Nottingham and took all my blankets, everything up to her. And she, I think, had a photographer take all of them, pictures of all of them. And the wonderful thing about what Emma was able to do is she was able to photograph them all completely flat, which if you've ever tried to photo a blanket, that's a really hard thing to do. And I think then once you can see behind her some layouts on the wall there, can't you, behind Emma? So I think for now, the ones she's focused on a lot are Mystical Lanterns, Indigo Dreams, the Fruit Garden, there's Persian tiles, and then I think for greetings cards, Emma, you've used quite a few more as well, haven't you?
I've used pretty much all of them because they just lent themselves beautifully to greetings cards, and I almost wish I'd started with the cards now, because I've got so many more ideas.
So obviously, as Jane was saying, photographing flat, that lends itself, as you said, brilliantly to greetings cards. What's the hardest thing? Because I know you do a lot of, I mean, you do mugs and all sorts of lots of 3D stuff. What's the hardest thing to incorporate Jane's design into?
It's been a hardest thing to incorporate. It was getting my head around how we were going to use it to start with. And that was the hardest thing, because I didn't want just a simple blanket just on the products, because they have to appeal to other people. So I'm thinking they're going to appeal to people that just love beautiful artwork or patterns, because that's what I see as well, patterns. And the main product that I featured on was the Persian tiles in all the pinks, the sandalwood colours, because it just seemed to fit in with the Emma Ball set really, really well. So first of all, I started off with tinware, designing those. So we went for a colour palette, which you can see here.
I was going say, are we going to see any? And here
yeah, so I've gone from a cream, a blue, and a burgundy colour palette on them. You can see it more on this.
I love that so much.
So it's so nice. I love this tin.
I love that.
So we've gone for this cream, burgundy, and a bluey sort of palette. You can see the blue on the glasses case here. But this case is amazing because you can also put crochet hooks in it.
That's fantastic. I had no idea. Oh, come on. Hello.
I love tins.
Where's mine?
So these are now all in stock, ready for January delivery. These are. So I have an amazing art worker who's so much better at things than I am. So I got her cutting out all the diamonds, the little these, so I could what you can see on the glasses case is I faded out the background slightly, and the diamonds are a little bit stronger. So we've done that on a few products, and you can see it on the outside of this tin here, just to make more of a feature of things. So it was really nice to do that with all the products. And then on other products like stationery, for example, I've tiled it, and I've tiled a lot of the patterns onto the greetings cards. And one of my favourite greetings cards is the fruit garden, because I've used all 4 colourways.
Oh wow, lovely.
So it would be interesting at some point to visit what other colourways other people have used, and perhaps do something like that. And then we used indigo dreams and mystical lanterns. And mystical lanterns we've actually used on the mug, because I sent the factory all the designs, and they came back with I'm not sure we can work with that, and I started to panic. So we went for just one to see how it worked, and the colours have come out so beautiful.
Yeah, that's on my wish.
So mugs are probably the hardest to produce, but we have a really good manufacturer for those, and then they do these amazing little boxes for us. So got a little bit of blur.
The mugs come in the boxes, don't
yeah,
they?
the mugs come in a box. So the boxes are fully recyclable, but they're actually brilliant to use as well. So you can put bits and bobs in, and they'd make a really good gift if you put a little crochet hook and a ball of yarn in, I think.
Lovely.
Lovely. We'll come back to sustainability, but before we sort of move on to that, you've obviously given us a lovely teaser with all those beautiful things you've shown us. What other things can we expect to see in the collection?
So there's stationery. So we have note cards, we have notepads, we have these little magnetic notepads here.
Brilliant.
So they'll go on your fridge, or I have them next to my desk, and I use a page a day with all my lists on. We have drawstring bags. So this is the Indigo Dream.
It's amazing. I haven't seen it yet. That's amazing, Emma. I love it.
That one.
That's beautiful.
And they're all branded with Janie's little label. We have, my favourite drawstring is the Persian tiles, actually. That's this one. But they all have a crochet looking lining. On all the bags is a crochet pattern.
Wow.
So if you can see that. So it's I can't remember, I think it's
double crochet.
Yeah. So that runs through all the textiles, that pattern, but it's different colours depending on the product. So for example, the Indigo Dreams has a brighter red as a contrast to the blues. Brilliant. And then we've done purses as well. So we have little purses, and again these are all lined too.
Gorgeous.
So they're all but my favorite fabric product, we've also done tea towels, 2 tea towels. Brilliant. But they won't be until January, is the hook wrap. So let me wrap it up for you. So we have this hook wrap, and we've just changed it so that they wrap, so it all wraps round and ties, and then you open it out the right way. So again, we've used this lovely plummy burgundy colour with the little diamonds, and then you open it out and you have the lining. Wonderful. And then space for all your hooks. So we've made the spaces big enough for the rubberized clover hooks, but it will fit other brands in there as well.
That's absolutely beautiful. So we're all absolutely desperate to get our hands on all of, well, I am. These. Where and when can we get these things, please?
Okay, well, we're launching it. It'll all be available from, I think, well, we're working on the website this next week for the launch. So it will be live, but it won't be available to order until the first week in January, because that's when we want to launch it fully for sale. So first week in January, it's all going to be available to order. So some products won't be in stock until March, April time, because they take time to be manufactured. But the tins will all be in stock. This week we've taken delivery of teeny tiny stitch markers. We have Persian tiles. So they're in sets of 6. So we have knitting stitch markers, and we also have crochet markers. So I'll be doing some Instagram posts and some images with those on. We have indigo dreams, which are little tiny square ones.
Oh goodness, they're lovely.
And the mystical lanterns, which are lovely little mystical lantern shaped. So and they'll be available either on a little safety pin, or we have got matching slidey tins for those, so you can buy them in the set. So they'll be available from January as well. The mugs will be coming into stock possibly late February, and the fabrics always take a little bit longer, so they'll be March, April time. Same with stationery. So there's also going to be a folder coming into stock that will have Persian towels on the cover and on the inside pages, and then the tabs are all going to be different blankets. Wow. With different, and it has the knitting instructions then, but it's also got all the crochet symbols and helpful bits and bobs. Brilliant. So all this will be available from the tinware will be available from the beginning of January, the stitch markers too. Some of the stationery is in stock as well, and then mugs probably the end of February, the rest of the textiles March, early April, ready for Easter.
Okay, so
it's all rolling in.
Probably a good time for people to sign up for your newsletter so that they can be kept informed of this, and I think they get a discount as well if they sign up for your newsletter. Is that right?
Yeah, if you sign up for our newsletter, there's 10% off. But also all our stockists will hopefully be getting this in. They're going to be getting the news the same time as this goes out. Wonderful. So hopefully they will be getting whatever's in stock. We ship out that first week in January if they place the orders. We have a bit of an ethos here with all my staff. If an order's in, it goes out. So hopefully as soon as our stockists start ordering, it'll be appearing in shops. But you can always email us and we'll let you know where your nearest stockist is as well.
Brilliant. So Jane, sorry, you are sitting there grinning and giggling and can't believe it, can you? What are you thinking about?
I can't believe it. It's what Emma's done is just, I mean, when she said she'd do a bag, I was just like, oh, how amazing, Emma Ball's going to do a bag for me. And then to see, I'm just getting a bit teary because when she sent me the catalogue through yesterday, and I have to admit, I did sit and have a little cry because it's just, what she's done is just amazing. And I mean, she's shown you a few of the textiles, but the fact, she's done cushions and the bags and just everything. I mean, the little stitch markers are just, I am so in love with them. And, I just never expected any of this sort of stuff to be coming out of one little text conversation. So yes, I'm a Cheshire cat. Absolutely.
So, I mean, the drawstring bags were just beautiful. We'd not seen, and the crochet hook roll is, I think, I don't know, I can't choose my favourite. Jane, can you possibly choose a favourite from what you've seen so far?
Well, I love all of it. The mugs. I mean, I've got a mug here that Emma sent me, and the mug is absolutely beautiful. And I what I love about it is the fact I think it will appeal not just to crocheters. You know, it brings crochet out to an audience that don't know about crochet. That's one of my big hopes, I think, is that people will see just how beautiful crochet can be without sort of making it, you know, like, no, because it's my crochet, but it just gets crochet out there a bit more. But no, it's probably the little tins are just so divine. Look at this little with the little cut out hearts, and I just the little tins and the stitch markers. When I showed my son yesterday, he straight away was like, oh, you can make Persian tile earrings.
Yes, definitely.
So I think these, you know, and charms and everything, you know, just think they're just beautiful. I can't really pick a favorite, Emma. I love all of it.
Yeah, I can't really pick a favorite, but I really can't wait to start on my Persian towels blanket. I might have to start that on Christmas Eve.
I mean, that's the other thing, you know, that it'd be lovely if people that see the tins and things in just general gift shops will go home and you know, really want to learn to crochet. I think it's really exciting.
Well, what I'm also really loving, Jane, you always say you love to see your designs out in the wild, because you will see crocheters will put, as you were saying, Emma, different colour schemes together and things that we'd perhaps not thought of or whatever. Jane, it must be lovely to see how Emma's taken your actual designs and pulled through elements of it to sort of change them again, like you were saying, Emma, pulling through those diamond, making those more prominent than the actual tiles themselves. That's just so brilliant to see another designer's perspective on it, isn't it? It's wonderful. Jane, will you be stocking the items as well on your website?
Yes, we will. So we'll have them. I've wanted to be an Emma Ball stockist for a long time, so this is a great opportunity to become one. We had a conversation a few years ago about it, but so we'll have them. I mean, I think probably, I mean, we'll have everything, but on our website we will probably focus more on, you know, like the crochet hook roll. Emma's not done crochet hook rolls before, so I think they'll be really popular, the project bags and stuff like that. But we'll have all of it. But you know, fantastic that other stockists will have it too.
Absolutely. You know, support your local yarn shops.
Absolutely. Or you know, your local gift shop, not just yarn shops. It's
definitely.
You know,
Definitely. Okay, that's lovely. We spoke earlier briefly about sustainability and recycling and all that good stuff, Emma. So can you tell us a bit, we were chatting briefly offline about your ethos, which is fantastic. Can you perhaps share that with everybody, how you're working to recycle and upcycle and all those things?
Yeah, well, all our products are meant to be usable, so they're not single use. We were talking about that, and it wasn't something I'd actually thought about before, but that's the major thing. They're meant to be loved and cherished and used daily. But also we have a big thing here at Emma Ball where we aim for the little things, and then together collectively all the little things add up to something much bigger. So for example, all my staff bring in their used packaging, we recycle that. We rarely have, it's probably once a month where we clear out bins and have a bin full of rubbish that goes downstairs. We are on the top floor here, by the way. Just things, for example, cardboard boxes that products come to us in that we probably wouldn't use to send out. We have a guy who's downstairs with another business. He comes up once a week, has the crate full of cardboard boxes, and he reuses them. So there's very, very little waste here. All our greetings cards are either packaged or not packaged. They're either available in the nudie, or that's a new thing we've been offering. But a lot of stockists do like them in a bag because they have some sort of element. For example, a garden centre always has they prefer cards bagged depending on the garden centre. So we're now using this it is still plastic, but it's called Change Plastic for Good. which is, it has an element in it. It has some enzyme in it that means it breaks down at a far faster rate. And that company has a website you can look into. So we also don't like waste, so we are using up all the bags that we have had in the past in stock, and we're gradually moving over to this new trendier, well, it's a trend, this bag. It's brand new, out last year, I think it was. So we've been using that for a year, and it's been amazing. We've also changed the way that we package our greetings cards in these bags, so they don't have a seal anymore.
Yeah.
So which was a massive waste, because all the seals had plastic on them. So it was just another thing. So it's all about stopping, and any products that come to us that's in plastic now, we ask our manufacturers to double or even triple, quadruple the amount that they put in that bag.
Yep.
So instead of having an order where there'd perhaps be 1,000 plastic bags, there's now a quarter of that. So it's just about cutting down wherever we can, really.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think it's quite an interesting, I mean, it's a huge area, isn't it, to talk about sustainability and recycling and everything. I think, you know, so much of it has to come down to individual choice as well. You know, I get it a lot with my blanket designs. You know, I make the decision that I design quite a few of them with acrylic in the yarn, because that will make them machine washable. It will mean that people can have them for longer. They won't felt them in the washing machine. And it's kind of that thing, they are approaching a project knowing that that blanket will, you know, almost be an heirloom, if you like. It will always be part of their life. And I think, you know, if you're somebody who makes the decision that you don't like acrylic yarn, then you can use wool. You know, it's up to you. So I think the same with Emma's kind of stuff. It's making those small choices, isn't it? And it's down to everybody to make their own little choices of what they choose to do. And I think a lot of people get very worked up about where things come from and what the track record of that item is, when they're not then thinking about their own track record at home. You know, are they thinking about maybe not doing so much washing so that they're not, you know, creating microfibers in their washing machine? Are they thinking about the plastic that comes around their TV dinners? You know, all that stuff can create, you know, it's making little choices, little choices, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, because that's obviously important to all of us. So thanks for sort of clarifying. I think we've covered all the big stuff, because we're all very excited. We've got lots more pretty pictures to come. So let's finish off with some very silly, off the wall, quick fire questions. I'm going to ask you both, and then we'll round off and say goodbye. So both of you, cat or dog people? Jane?
Dog.
Emma?
Cat.
Peanut butter or Marmite? I love this one. Jane?
Both, absolutely both. I have both on toast together.
Oh
yes, absolutely. And yesterday we tried the new Marmite, which is truffle. Have you tried that? See, you're not Marmite people either, are you? Either of you.
I was disgusted when Paddington ate Marmite, actually.
He's a damn individual.
I'm Nutella.
Oh, excellent. I'm just going to throw this one in. I've just remembered. Cream or jam first on your scone?
No jam. I just have the cream.
Oh, really? Oh, brilliant. Fantastic. Jane, cream or jam first?
Jam. And I don't know what that means about me, but jam, so that you can stick your cream to the jam. Please, and you've got something sticky on both sides of your scone, definitely.
So I have friends that live in Devon, and she's definitely jam after the cream.
I don't understand how you spread jam onto cream.
I think you spoon it on. This is where we go wrong.
I think you blob it a bit on this.
It's a really controversial question. Let's move on. Let's really move on quickly. Favorite holiday destination, dream or actual?
Go on, Emma.
Mine, it would always be Scotland. Preferably Shetland, but I just love Scotland. But I really love Shetland. I will live there one day.
Oh, Jane?
That's really difficult. I mean, we've traveled a lot, and we've kind of had a little conversation about maybe not traveling quite so much. So I am looking forward to doing more sort of close by. And Andy and I, this summer that we just had, did a train journey through on the Eurostar and through on the trains into Europe. And there's so much in Europe I'd like to do that way. Going on the train was just wonderful. So favourite destination, I love Greece. My cousin lives on a Greek island, so we've been taking the children since they were tiddy. So probably Greece, I'd have to say. We did go to Greece on the train. We went all the way on the train, yeah.
Just a couple more. Who's your favourite band?
Oh, mine would be Deacon Blue.
Oh, lovely!
Wow.
Yeah. Scottish connection again then there.
I just love them so much. They're just a great band. They're really good people. Their music's amazing. I've been to every tour that they've. I've even met them on occasion. Just bumped into them after. They're just great. Yeah.
Oh, good choice.
Wow, a Deacon Blue girl. That's all our yesterdays.
They had me at hello.
Brilliant. Jane, can you narrow it down?
Oh, I like so much music. I'm probably a rock chick at heart. I had sort of 80s glam rock, you know, sort of Bon Jovi and all that in the 80s. I was a massive Bon Jovi fan at the time. Motley Crue, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And now I'm a bit of a I like all sorts. I now listen to Radio 2, and I'm never sure whether I should tell people that. But the thing I like about Radio 2 is you get a real mash, don't you, of different music. I'm going to turn that question on you, Emma, and ask you what your favourite band is.
Well, I am absolutely. I've got a real eclectic taste as well. I've seen lots and lots of people, but I am totally obsessed with Pink. I love her.
Oh yes, so okay, Pink.
Very, very sure that we'd be absolute best friends if we met. She'd love me. I know it. And she crochets and knits.
She does. Yeah, she does.
So what is not to love? She's a brilliant woman, and I've seen her live, and she can do it live. And she's
amazing, isn't she?
Amazing.
We saw her live a few years ago, and it's just amazing. Yeah,
she's a wonderful, wonderful person. So I love her. Thank you for asking. Right, we'll do one more, and then we'll save some for because we're going to do an Instagram live, aren't we? Hopefully.
Yeah.
We can get that sorted. So last one. What are you reading or listening to at the moment, and what does that say about you? See.
I might shock people.
Oh, go on.
I love a good murder. I tend to listen to audiobooks because then I can work at the same time, because I get to bed and I just fall asleep.
Same.
I'm just gone. So at the moment I'm listening to James Oswald. I've had to write this down, and I've just found him, and he writes about a detective who's based in Edinburgh. So it's all read in a lovely Scottish accent, which just wins me over. But I love J.D. Kirk, Ian Rankin, Rebus. I just love Rebus. And Anne Cleeves. I love Vera.
Just yesterday. Nasty short stories, so there you go. You might be able to manage one of them before you go to sleep. And Jane, what about you?
I'm not great with reading. I like listening. I love listening to podcasts, so I've been working my way through the Love Crafts Show podcast actually lately. I'm on Love Crafts pod show next week because they interviewed me last week, but it made me go back and listen to more of them. I've kind of dipped in and out of them for years, and I really enjoy listening to other crafters talk about why they do it, and I just find myself sort of listening, and I've realized I've not done anything for 15 minutes because I'm so listening to their views on craft and why they do it and all that. So that's my current big love. I also like Jane Garvey on the Radio 4 podcast, her and Fiona. What's Fiona's surname? I'm trying to think.
Glover. Is it Fee Glover?
Fee Glover. Yeah, those two together. I listen to them a lot on their podcast as well. So
a good duo, aren't they? Good double act.
Yeah, so I like listening to people talking, actually. conversations. I think maybe because I'm a little hermit and sit up here working on my own, I like to be part of a conversation, and I often find myself adding to their, you know, when I'm listening to a podcast like that, I find myself sort of talking along to them.
Chipping in your two birds. Brilliant. Yeah. That's really good. It's really interesting to have a little bit of an insight into the brilliant women behind the brand. So thank you both. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it all coming out. Emma, it's beautiful, and Jane, obviously the designs are beautiful, and I know I sound like a sycophantic fangirl, but I am, and that's fine. Can't wait. So thank you both so much for your time, and best of luck. I know it will be a roaring success, so can't wait, and have a great Christmas, both of you. And
you too.
Yeah, thank you, Emma. That's been so nice to talk to both of you, and we just, Emma and I can't wait to get it out. We've been so desperate to tell people about it. I keep saying to Emma, I mean, we've been doing it for the last, would you say 6 months, Emma? We've been working. Well, you've been working.
Yeah, because after that initial text I got from you, I was like, oh, and I thought about it, and I did speak to a friend who crochets, and I said, and then I said, what do you think? She said, oh, damn. And I didn't sleep that night because I had so many ideas just pouring in and out my head. It's like my brain was working at 150 miles an hour. And I sort of thought, I think it was the Monday I got back to you, wasn't it? And I thought about it all weekend, and I had a chat with my little friend Sue, and she says, oh my goodness, yes. And so it's just been so exciting, but I've just been dying to tell so many people. But we decided we'd keep it really top secret, which has been so painful.
It has been painful. Yes, it has. Especially when the pieces started arriving at the house. I'm like, oh, I need to show somebody. So yeah. Obviously,
and when I did the knitting trade show, I was saying to people, I've got this really exciting new range, and I think you're all going to love it. And tell us, and I was telling them about my new range, but there's another one that I just can't tell you about. Tell us, but then I'll have to kill you. And it was this sort of whole excitement. And poor old Lisa at Stylecraft, I thought she was just going to spontaneously combust if I didn't tell her.
Brilliant.
Oh well, I really, obviously we really hope that people are going to be as excited about it as we are, and yeah, I mean, for me it's an absolute dream come true, and I'm so grateful to Emma for all that she's done. She's worked so hard, I have to say. She's just amazing. I'm in awe of how hard she works. I thought I worked hard, but she works really hard. So yeah, we just hope that everybody's going to love it as much as we do. And Emma, do you want to say anything else? Are you?
No, I'm just really excited. I'm just glad it's all out. I don't think I could have held it in for any longer. And it's just, I just feel great relief at the moment. So I've finally just finished the catalogue. And then Jane messaged me last night. She's the needle wrap's not in the catalogue. I says, don't panic. There's a lot not in the catalogue, because we have a separate catalogue for craft shops. So that's really exciting. So I will work on that when I'm back after Christmas, because I can't bear to look at the Apple Mac for another hour at the moment.
It's had enough.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's been so lovely to chat, and that's it, isn't it? We're done. I think very exciting, and I hope, as we said, I hope everybody's going to love it.